This is the D&D campaign case terrain set. It's still being sold on the official D&D website for $64.99. It's now being sold on Amazon for $20, but I found it in a local store for $2.99 plus 20% off. That's right, $2.40 for this set. But the catch is that I had to take the trek to Massachusetts. So I'm calling because I want to see if there's any of the D&D terrain sets left in stock.
Need a swatter?
No, I don't want to buy... No, I want the... It's the Dungeons & Dragons. And thus my adventure began.
I'm shipping out to Boston. I'm on the 93 South.
Ollie's is a bargain outlet that I've never even heard of before. Obviously, there was a lot of chat about this deal on the internet, so I guess Ollie's is kind of like Big Lots, except it's like Big Lots was when Big Lots was great. Surprisingly, there was a bunch of D&D stuff here, the movie action figures and stuff, and I was happy to find that they still had a massive palette of the D&D board games and the D&D terrain sets. Obviously, I was going to have to pick some up because they're 20% off. So again, the ridiculously low price of $2.40. Obviously, I was going to pick some up for my local D&D club at the library. I'm going to give these out as gifts in the new year, and a lot of fun. I was just really shocked, too, how good Ollie's is in terms of a place where you can find discounted stuff. This is how Big Lots used to be. Big Lots used to just have a lot of really cool stuff. Some of the prices here are pretty high, but there's a lot of like really cool stuff. I actually found like a ton of graphic novels and stuff. I've not seen a discount selection of graphic novels like this since I was a kid.
Somebody literally had to have a master's degree to come up with something this off-putting.
So a very interesting store. If you got one near you, you should check it out. Just avoid the terrifying mascot. So let me just do my standard unboxing thing, and I'll show you what's in this terrain set and whether or not you should consider making a trip to see if you can find it at a local discount store as well. There's a lot of Ollie's everywhere. Obviously, I had to drive all the way to Massachusetts to find one. But, they're around, and I think it's definitely worth the price and the trip, especially if you can get an extra percentage off. I think that sale might have run its course, but hey, I mean, it's a difference between $2.40 and $3. So, yeah, heavy-duty cardboard. Not sure what I think about this. Obviously, way more effort went into the presentation of the case rather than the usability of it. I kind of liked the older sets where the box itself could be used as terrain. This is very, very pretty, and it is useful, but again, this is all just sort of heavy-duty cardboard. So to have this much presentation for a cardboard thing is a little bit weird. I'm not going to take anything away from it. It looks really impressive. But yeah, this is just sort of lighter weight cardboard, even more so than you would generally find in a board game box. I assumed this little part might come out, but no, I was wrong. That just is for looks. It just stays in there. And then you have the little part there where you have the big old foldable terrain grid, and then you have the little inserts here, which are little plastic film things, and you can kind of put those on top of the treated cardboard tiles, and they'll just sort of stick there nice and securely. I've never seen a setup like this before. It's pretty cool. Obviously, these have a much better advantage in terms of like usability in the case of like if you put down a set of stairs that are just tiles, then those can very easily get knocked asunder. These, because they're plastic film clings, you can put those down on the various tiles that you have, and they're not going to move anywhere. The only issue is that it's only going to work if you have the glossy style tiles. That's how this is going to work the best at. If you have other tile sets, I think that if they aren't covered with a glossy cover, these aren't going to work as good. As you can see here from the light shining on here, these are very glossy treated dungeon tiles. And obviously, that's so these little cling things fit on there securely. And this is double-sided. You got the wilderness, and you got the dungeon. And obviously, the dungeon can double for a town tiles as well. Though I think the wilderness one is definitely the nicer one. Obviously, you could do all sorts of interesting, like, ruins and forest scenes and stuff like that. But yeah, these are just very thin plastic things, and they just sort of stick on there without any actual... these aren't stickers or anything. It's just the very nature of the thin plastic on the very glossy surface. They just kind of stay on there. It's the best thing I can say. And again, you could definitely move miniatures over, and you can just easily just sort of pluck them off and reuse them as you go. So very interesting concept. Obviously, I think I've seen a couple of sets use this. I've not really been like super interested. I'm still really into my 3D terrain phase. So anytime I can use like actual little bits and bobs on a mat, that's generally what I'm going to use. So I don't, unless it's a very specific dungeon crawl that I come up with this set, then yeah. And look at this again, the presentation, really nice. Look at that. Very lasery. Obviously, this would make a very impressive thing. But yeah, then we have the little tiles here, which are similar to the fold-out big old tile thing, except these are kind of like... they're somewhat similar to the ones that you got in the older D&D board game. I mean, I think they're slightly more glossy. But yeah, these just sort of fit together so you can more easily make like a maze or something like that. I think the older dungeon tiles in the board games had a better snap together fit than these. But again, with the price, how could you complain? And they do fit together pretty well too. This would be a really good gift for somebody who's just brand new to D&D and just does not have anything to put on the table for a terrain board. That's what I think that this would be the best gift for. Now, would that be worth $65 or even $60 or even $20? I don't know. I'd almost rather get somebody brand new the Chessex mat that you see underneath there. I'd rather have the money go to something like that. That's just way more usable in terms of like versatility. I mean, with the wet erase mats like these, you know, those are where you're going to get some real use for. So yeah, but yeah, these snap together fine. And like I said, the little plastic film cling things, they fit on there just as well as the other set. I can definitely see using something like this for a dungeon crawl, especially with all the lovely accoutrements specific towards dungeons in there, with the entrances and the stairs and all sorts of stuff like that. The little the bearskin rug thing, that's pretty cool. And as you can see, your little characters can walk all over this stuff, and it's not going to pull up the cling from the thing. Now, would this be travelable? Would you be able to like pick this up and put it back in the case with all the plastic things still on there? Probably not. But it's a versatile system. I can see where some people really might like this, because you can just easily pull and put stuff down very quickly. But again, I'm still in my 3D phase where I just love me some 3D stuff, you know? And it is a little bit awkward putting them back on the paper, but I quickly found out that they'll just sort of, oh, see? I knew there was a little bit of an issue. You just have to kind of make sure that they're kind of stuck on there a little bit so they don't get lost. Again, a very novel idea, but perhaps one that it's just not for me. I could see myself using this for like a one-shot thing, but like I just like the idea of using a big old mat and then having either 3D tiles or just 3D elements on that mat. That just seems way more versatile and easy to use. And once again, putting all this stuff back, it does fit together pretty well. That you'll have to just, I don't know how long this case is going to stand up to the punishment of going from, like, house to house and stuff like that. But it does fit together when you're done pretty well. And it's got the lovely carrying rope thing. And it's got the magnet that closes the top. So, I mean, you could carry it around. I just don't know how... It should last a long time. Again, you'll have to consider what you need and want from dungeon terrain. Obviously, if you're going to pay $3 for this is well worth $3. Here we have the old, this is the old 4E dungeon tile set. The Dungeon Dragons Essentials dungeon tile set. As you can see there, the top of the box is actually more terrain that you could use for like a raised, elevated area. And yeah, these are just big old thick cardboard things. This has had a lot of use. This is one that I bought at the Goodwill for $6, I believe. And obviously the box is beat up, but still very usable. And I just want to show that just as an example of what the two products look like. And of course, the D&D board games, The Warriors of Krynn. The Dragonlance board game. A very interesting thing. Once again, this had one of those weird, like, cardboard sleeves that's obviously you're not supposed to be able to, like, reuse. It just sort of opens up, and I could not get this thing back into the sleeve after I was done. But the cardboard box that it comes in is very much of the standard, very heavy, durable cardboard boxes that you're going to find most board games in. But yeah, the Dragonlance stuff, very interesting. There's just a lot of cardboard in this thing. So many tokens, so much artwork. It's really interesting. But I've never had much interest in this. Obviously, this was on deep discount. Yeah, I only paid like $8 and something for it. So, bear that in mind. 20% off $10, that's $8. And it is what it is. A lovely full color manual. All about all the scenarios you can run and stuff like that. Again, the tactical board game stuff. I've not seen many reviews about this. I got this mostly because I kind of wanted to take a look at the miniatures that came with it. But the board game itself might be a lot of fun. And considering everything, I might just donate it to the library board game collection. Because this might be something that somebody might want to try out. But yeah. Gotta be impressed with all this full color cardboard though. What a really nice looking setup. We have some lovely plastic tokens as well as some dice, specialized dice. Obviously they're trying to go into the market for the full scale tactical style board game stuff. I mean, personally, I think they should just bring HeroScape back. But that's just me. We have some spacers along with those tiny little cards. I know they're popular with stuff, but I do like the fact that most of these are the full-sized cards. I'm not a huge fan of like where you get a board game and all of the cards are like the tiny little ones. I like the full-scale ones myself. I just give up trying to even pull out those tiny little cards. And it all fits together very nicely back together. And of course, the real reason why I bought this, the miniatures. I was very excited to see some Hasbro stuff. I wasn't disappointed with the durability. These have this weird sun drop, or they call it different stuff. Basically, they just do the unpainted plastic with a bit of wash to bring out the details now. So that's how these are coming in more and more board games to help people that just don't have the time to paint them. The Kender miniature, a bit of a disappointment. Maybe you like this weird scaling stuff, but this is just not what I see when I picture a Kender in my brain. The miniatures are nice, but boy oh boy, even $8 for this is just, for 6 of these miniatures, not very good. I think my favorite probably has to be the character with the double daggers. Looking pretty good. I might paint one of these up just to see. But yeah, if you're going to buy this for the miniatures, you might be better off just saving your money for one of the traditional Hasbro board games with the old school sculpts. I hate to say that considering how old those are getting now, but they really are just very fun to paint. And this is a lovely board game. If you like the board game, again, I have not even read one single review on this. I just sort of bought it for $8 because it's $8. And that might not be a really great idea, but it is what it is. And like I said, if I don't get into this at all, I think I might just donate this to my local public library board game collection. That way everybody can have some fun with playing the Dragonlance board game without paying the premium price for it. 60-minute playtime, though. That's always going to be... Yeah. I mean, that's actually not that bad for a tactical game. If they can get a game in within an hour, that is not bad at all. And like I said, I could not get this thing back in the original case, but overall, seems pretty good. So anyways, guys, that's my filler video. Woo, for the new year. Oh my god. Anyways, I have been sick as a dog for the majority of December. It's been really bad. I'm still not feeling back up to 100%. I had a bunch of videos that I've taped, and I just need to sit down and edit, including the weird miniature iceberg, which I really planned to do over the holidays, and I just wasn't able to do it. Anywho, I hope you got a kick out of this, and I hope you have a really good new year coming up. Again, I got a lot of D&D projects, both in person and online, planned out. So look forward to that, and if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below.
Alright, I'm on the exit to Boston. I already feel 20% more racist. Oh, I can't say that in the video.